Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, I want to take a look at some Angel and the Ape. Yes, I know I covered Angel and the Ape once before last year, and we dived into one of the original 1960s issues of Angel and the Ape. And this time I want to look at the miniseries that was a reboot in the 1990s, from 1991. And we're going to take a look into issue 1 of Angel and the Ape miniseries, 1991, written and drawn by Phil Foglio. And for those who don't know, Angel and the Ape is a humor title created by E. Nelson Bridwell and Bob Oxner, and they did the story and art for the Angel and the Ape book that I looked at previously. We took a little look at these two as well, but just a cursory look. It appeared in Showcase number 77 in 1968, and in the revival in 91 by Phil Foglio, it stayed with its humor roots. An Angel, but they've had, this is after the Crisis on Infinite Earths. I had a universe reboot, and and finally giving some background on these characters. And I guess after, was it the New 52, I think it was, they had another reboot, and all this was changed. But Angel and the Ape are detectives. Angel and Sam are detectives. And Angel is revealed to be the half-sister of Dumb Bunny from the Inferior Five. I haven't covered the Inferior Five yet. Yet, have I? I don't know. But they are also created by E. Nelson Bridwell and Bob Oxner from about the same time period. Sam Simeon, who is the ape, turns out to be the grandson of Gorilla Grodd. He therefore has mental powers, allowing him to influence people's perceptions to see him as human. And of course, the Inferior Five, who also appears in here. Well, not in the first issue, but in the miniseries. They were a superhero team. They were basically a parody of superhero team. And Dumb Bunny was the daughter of an Amazon princess similar to Wonder Woman. And she has superhuman strength. Phil Foglio, the writer and artist here, he was born in 1956. He's an American cartoonist and writer, best known for his humorous science fiction and fantasy art, particularly the comics and novels of Myth Adventures. And he attended the Chicago Academy of Fine Arts, and he was nominated for Hugo Awards in 76 and won in both 77 and 78. And he's best known, and it was for Best Fan Artist in 1980. He did strips and illustrations for Dragon magazine, and then illustrated comics and novels, namely the Myth Adventures, which were written by Robert Asprin. And he did some other comics. And more recently, he did some other work for DC, like did some Plastic Man and a few other things. and he's been last several years. He's been having a series. I'm not sure if I think it's a graphic novel series called Girl Genius, and another similar type. I can't remember the titles. That appears to be. I haven't read them. I've only seen covers. Appear to be steampunk related, and I got to see him a few years ago at a convention when he made doing a panel. So that was neat. He's an interesting fellow. So take a little look here. Of course, I had the entire miniseries, 4-issue miniseries before, and I might still have the rest of them out in the garage, but I'm not sure. These were more recent acquisitions, and I got just to have, but I only got here have issue 1 and issue 4. We'll just take a little look, and we start off with. You can get a good example of Phil's artwork. Oh yeah, it was inked by K.S. Wilson, who I think did a good job on Phil's pencils. Early in his earlier work was the basic art, the penciling was fine. I had a problem with the inking, where it's a little bit rough and somewhat amateurish. But his in later years, like here and in the present, his work is much more polished and has a definite professional look to it. And here he is. Here we are. There's Angel as a little girl. She's with her scientist father. They're doing some research in Africa, in the jungle, and Angel running around wanting to get some firewood for the camp. Okay, she picks something that's too big for her, and then suddenly this young talking gorilla comes out of the forest to give her a hand, and they quickly become friends. While doing that, Sam, because this is Sam, is bitten by a venomous snake. She runs, gets help, and it has some real interesting page layout here on both of these pages. Interesting page layout. Get the anti-venom. They save Sam, and then they grow up together. Here they are, grown up, and Krieger! He's attacking her. And they have all kinds of little jokes, like here, Marlin Perkins Appreciation Society. They're developing a martial arts system that will work against gorillas, which comes in handy later. Potential client comes in. Dumb Bunny shows up. She's supposed to have lunch with Sam, but instead she wants to have lunch with Angel, and because she's talking, because she likes Sam. She wants to see if she could condone her or help her. She wants Sam to be her boyfriend because he's about the only one that she can be physical with, not necessarily sexually, but just physical without risking hurting, because he is big and strong, and she just doesn't know her own strength. Anyway, I want to show you something neat here. And these panels here, they're at the restaurant. The waiter, Bert, that is Foglio. That is Phil Foglio himself. Later, he's often has side whiskers, but here, this is probably may have been him at the time. This is the way he dressed when I saw him. Not necessarily this exact outfit, but this way. This is the type. And other pictures that I've seen of him, he's dressed like this. So he inserted himself into the story. So Angel has to think about the situation. Meanwhile, Sam goes to the bank to deposit a check. While he's there, he momentarily turns into a human. He's suddenly human. And everyone else in the bank, all the humans, are apes. And then pop, they're right back. So no one noticed anything but him. But that's when everyone notices him as a gorilla, because he lost his concentration and his mental screen was down. And so he rushes back to the office, tells Angel about it. They manage to get footage. She thinks he's just imagining stuff. They get the bank's footage. And it does show, the security footage does show that that everyone turned into gorillas just momentarily. Then all these weird-looking people come into their office, and they get down and dirty, and they're beating, and they're smacking the crap out of them. But they seem to be super strong, and they're outmanned. Then Dumb Bunny pops in, and she beats the crap out of these guys, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And then they discover, now that the bad guys are unconscious, they are apes. And the next month, Apes of Wrath. I think they did good job visual storytelling. And this is then, and I don't have the next two issues, we see that we find that Grodd is behind the whole thing. He's wanting to take over the world. At one point, he's turned everyone into apes momentarily. He's got this thing. He breaks Dumb Bunny's neck, thinking she's been killed. They all think she's dead, but she's not. And uses Sam to try to control this thing that is giving Grodd the power to do all this transformation. But turns out the Gizmo is sentient. There's some of the other inferior 5. Turns out the thing is sentient. It wants to help Sam. They're all trapped. Use Dumb Bunny's reflexes, because they found out she's alive, to break open. Then she goes to town on Grodd, beating the crap out of him, using her martial arts. The Gizmo that Grodd is trying to control helps Sam. It incapacitates Grodd by making him crave human junk food, and restores Dumb Bunny to health, so she is fine. And instead of going with Sam, she goes with who she has always liked before, who is Myron, who is the jester, the leader of the inferior 5. She discovers that if she likes somebody, she doesn't hurt them. She can control her strength, so she can go with wimpy little, what you call him. And then momentarily, the thing does something for Sam, momentarily changes him to human, so he and Angel can be together. But he decides he has strong affection for her, and vice versa, but he prefers to be his gorilla self. And that is just a brief look at Angel and the Ape, 1991 miniseries, and it's just all humorous. It's fun. I always kind of like the when they have humor stories. I like the adventure humor stories, like when they do that with Archie and the Disney stories and the like. That's how I like them. So that's what I've got for you this time. I hope you enjoyed Angel and the Ape. And all my little apey friends. Ha ha ha. Please like, share, and subscribe. You got somebody who knows somebody who might be an apey fan, but don't know Angel and the Ape? Well, share this with them. And do leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Angel and the Ape. Have you seen the more recent version, which I haven't seen at all, and I would like to? And what you think of them, or the original Angel and the Ape? Please share with me. And remember, comics are art.